bless you, brother. God bless you. It's good to be in God's house. Amen. Thank God for His Spirit. Amen. I feel good in my sanctified soul. Amen. We thank God. We thank God. We thank God. Amen. For all of His blessings. Thank you, brother. God bless you. Amen. Amen. I want to talk to you for a few moments about the Deliverer. I want to talk to you for a few moments about the Deliverer. Amen. Amen. God bless you. Amen. In this series of messages, amen, we've been talking to you about the 5 different steps. Amen. 5 different steps. Amen. On the journey for the Spirit-filled Christian. Amen. And amen. Now we're focusing on the Deliverer. Step 1, of course, is when God gives you vision and speaks to your heart. Gives you direction from on high. Amen. Step number 2 is when we enter into a strong prayer life with God, strong prayer life with the Lord. Amen. To hear from Him every day. Amen. About our journey, about the direction that He wants us to take. Amen. Then we talk about times of warfare, spiritual warfare. Amen. Every Christian will go through times of warfare. Amen. Every Christian. Amen. And then when the warfare comes, amen, we don't shut down, but we cry out to God. I say we cry out to God. He said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. Then we can look forward to and expect times of deliverance. Times of deliverance. Amen. Last week I started talking to you about the Deliverer. I'm coming from a very classic text, Psalm 18. Psalm 18, a very classic text that speaks to us and gives us a snapshot of what God looks like, what the Deliverer, our Jehovah Sabaoth, the God that fights for us. Amen. Started last week. Amen. I'll let you know that if you save, sanctify, you're going to have some enemies. I said if you save, sanctify, you're going to have some enemies. Amen. Amen. You're going to have some enemies. Amen. Amen. The enemy, amen. And he's busy. He'll come at you with fiery darts. I said he'll come at you with fiery darts. Yes, he will. Amen. The Bible says you have an enemy. Amen. Your enemy, and he is the devil. Amen. In Ephesians chapter 6, it says that when the evil day comes, amen, you don't have to schedule it. Amen. It's coming. Amen. Matter of fact, the more you live for God, amen, the more challenges you're going to face. Amen. But that's all right because you're not by yourself. I told you last week you have an enemy. Amen. You have an enemy. Chapter Psalm 18. Amen. Psalm 18, verse 17. I'm just going to jump right in today. He rescued me from my powerful enemy. Verse 17. He rescued me from my powerful enemy. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And I talked to you a little bit last week about those enemies. I talked to you about those enemies. Today, amen, I want to talk to you about the intensity of the warfare that you're in. I need to prepare you. I want to prepare you, amen, for the warfare. I want to prepare you. Amen, amen. Verse 3, Psalm 18, 3. I call to the Lord who is worthy of praise, and I am saved from my enemies. Yes, yes, yes. Verse 4, the cords of death entangled me. The torrents of destruction overwhelmed me. The cords of the grave coiled around me, and the snares of death confronted me. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I cried to God for help. That's amazing. That's amazing. Amen. 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 I want to talk to you about the intensity of the struggle. The intensity. Amen. Amen. Because we have a bad habit of underestimating the struggle. We have a bad habit of downplaying the reality of the warfare. Amen. We sort of gloss over and water down the tests and the trials. Amen. The tests and the trials. I told you last week, amen, it's not easy being a Christian. I say it's not easy. Not to discourage you. It's not easy. Amen. Amen. The Bible says it's hard for a Christian. It's hard for the Christian. It says now, amen. Now God said, I'm here to help you. But it's not easy. It's not easy. Amen. Over the book of Acts, it says, amen, through much difficulty and test and trial, we enter into the kingdom. Amen. 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 There's a struggle. There's a struggle. For real, to be a Christian. Now, it's worse if you're a sinner. I say it's worse if you're a sinner. Amen. Amen. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge for you when you're a Christian. I told you last week when I introduced this, I told you, amen, you're going to have some enemies. Satan uses people. Satan uses people. I introduced the motley crew last week. I introduced the motley crew, just using the life of David. Amen. Just using the life of David. Amen. David had folk, they were folk that were opposed to David. They were folk that were opposed to David. He had to fight his own boss. Amen. His mentor. Amen. King Saul turned against him. King Saul. Sunday school, y'all go back with me. King Saul turned against him. Amen. Amen. His own family turned against him. His own family turned against him. Amen. Amen. His own son. He was just overcome by depression. He was overcome by depression. Amen. Depression is real. Come on, say amen somebody. I say the person is real. Satan's attack is real. Satan's attack is real. Amen. And I have nothing but compassion, amen, for that family and for him. I'm not going to beat him up or demonize him. Amen. I'm praying for him, his family, and all of that. But amen. Amen. We have to answer. Amen. There is a response. Amen. We have to deal with that. Those of us that are still here and remain. Amen. How do you deal with that? How do you face that? Amen. Amen. How do you face that? Amen. And it's even in our text, Psalm 18. David, and literally he said he was overcome by fear. Literally, David said he was afraid. Did you see that in the text? Verse 4. Verse 4. The sorrows of death compassed me. King James, it says, it made me afraid. Is that what it says in King James? Yeah. Notice in the NIV it says, the torrents of destruction did what? Look at it again, verse 4, 18:4. The cords of death entangled me. The torrents of destruction did what? We'll say it again. Amen. Amen. Do you know there are times when the Christian can be confused? Amen. Love the Lord on your way to heaven, singing praises. Amen. Amen. Lord, you've done great things for me. Amen. But give it 24 hours. Going this way. We're marching to Zion. Give it 24 hours. Come on, those that have been walking with Jesus for a while, help us some of the new saints. Let them know. Satan can flip it quick. Come on, wave your hand, show some signs. Please let them know. Amen. Give it 24 hours. Elijah called down fire from heaven and whooped all the prophets of Baal. Amen. Destroyed. Amen. In a span of 24 hours, he was sitting up under a juniper tree. Amen. Getting ready to take his own life. Amen. In Psalm 22, now David wrote this before Jesus said it. David wrote it, Dietrich, before Jesus said it. Jesus said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? David wrote it first. 22:1. Same thing, going through it. They say, Lord, where are you? The miracles, the breakthroughs, the victories. Why have you forsaken me? You'll feel like that sometimes. I say you'll feel like that sometimes. Shh. But thank God for Jesus. I say thank God for Jesus. Make sure you say this real quick. It's only a test. Come on, please help me with that. Say that. Turn and switch to the other and say, it's only a test. God is going to help you and God's going to give you the victory. Amen. But you got to stand. That's the crowd at the house of God. Amen. There are people that used to be here, not here no more. Amen. Folk used to be, did you in your circle? They're not in your circle anymore. Amen. You got to be careful. I told you last week, you might need to do some updates. You might need to do some inventory. Amen. Mama used to say, amen, you need to heights up the window and do some spring cleaning. Y'all don't know nothing about that. You need to heights. Say heights up the window. Heights up the window. Amen. Ask the southern people, they can tell you what that means. Amen. You need to be careful. The Bible says the tree is known. I told you last week, I'm not going to re-go over this all the time. If you got somebody that's always critical of you and they never celebrate with you, that's from last week, right? If you got somebody always critical of you, but then they never celebrate the victories, they never celebrate with you, you need to check that. Enemies. Everybody say enemies. Amen. As I'm getting ready to hit Deliverance Kim, and we're studying this, and we're looking at the life of David, and we're using him as a prototype for us. Amen. He had enemies in his family. He had enemies in his friends. His children at the time turned against him. His spouse turned against him. He fought giants. Amen. He fought lions and bears. He had enemies on every hand. Amen. Look at your neighbor and say enemies. Look at your neighbor and say enemies. Amen. Come on, gird up your loins. Get ready. Amen. The nature of the Christian walk, amen, we have to fight sometime. Come on, say amen. I say we got to fight sometime. Warfare warfare can be like hell on the person that's being attacked. Amen. I ain't cussing because the word hell is in the Bible, so don't be dirty. Amen. Warfare can be like hell, amen, on the person being attacked. You read it in the text. You read it in the text. Amen. You got to switch over to the King James stuff. Okay? You switch over to the King James. That's why I tell you I always have your parallel Bible. Psalm 18. Psalm 18. Look at it again. Look at it again. Verse 4 and 5. Verse 4 and 5. King James, y'all here? King James, y'all here? I need your help on verse 4 and 5 in the King James Version. In the King James Version. Verse 4 and verse 5. The sorrows of death. Made me afraid. Verse 5. The sorrows of what? The sorrows of what? Keep reading. Warfare can be like hell on the person being attacked. Yeah. That season of testing and trial that you go through, it can be like hell on earth. Yeah. And the full spectrum of emotions that we experience can be overpowering. The roller coaster ride of tests and trials. Emotional highs and lows can make you dizzy. Yeah, the full gamut of emotions that we experience. It can be confusing at times. Yeah, the intensity of the struggle. It can be painful. It can be painful. David, thank you, David. David communicates this for us in the song. Thank you, David. Thank you, David, because I thought I was going crazy until I opened up these songs. Amen. I thought I was going crazy until I opened up these songs. And I said, look at that, look at that, look at that. Amen, amen. I'm in good company. I say I'm in good company. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. Amen, amen, amen. There's strength in numbers. Amen. Psalm 55. Go back to Psalm 55, verse 4 and through 8. 4 through 8. Let me diagnose this. Because there's somebody sitting here. I believe you're in the same boat. You're in the same boat. Psalm 55, verse 4. Psalm 55, verse 4. Amen. My heart is in anguish. Did you see that? Come on, did you see that? Psalm 55, verse 4. My heart is in what? Yeah. The terrors of what? Yeah. Fear and trembling do what? See, and all of this is because of an enemy. Verse 3 says, at the voice of an enemy. The threats of an enemy. Yes. Fear and trembling beset me. Verse 5. Horror has what? Overwhelmed me. Everybody say overwhelmed. Come on, say overwhelmed. So much so, verse 6, amen. This is amazing. Detroit, listen to this. If I but had the wings of a dove, you know what I would do? I would fly away, and I ain't talking about the rapture neither. I'm just talking about to get away from some people sometime. If I had the wings of a dove, I would fly away and wouldn't tell y'all where I was going, so y'all couldn't bother. Would fly away, listen, and be at rest. Come on, say rest. Come on, somebody say rest. Verse 7, I would contemplate, amen, when you, amen, were on the edge, when you were on the edge. Moses, amen, how did you get healed? How did you make it? What did you do, Moses? Well, Numbers chapter 11, you remember the Exodus scenario. Numbers 11, amen, verse 10. Let me just read this passage, please. Numbers chapter 11, verse 10. Moses heard the people of every family wailing at the entrance of their tents. The Lord was exceedingly angry, and Moses was troubled. He asked the Lord, why have you brought this trouble on your servant? What have I done to displease you that you've put this burden, the burden of all these people on me? Yeah, did I conceive all these people? Yeah, did I give them birth? Yeah, why did you tell me to carry them in my arms as a nurse carries his infants to the land you promised on oath to their forefathers? Where can I get meat for all these? Do you know you can't be honest with God? Amen. Now, don't come up here and fuss and cuss with God, but in your private time, you know you can't be honest with God and tell him how you really feel. Amen. If you rather don't get the healing, amen, you got to stop with these nursery rhyme prayers and really talk to God. Amen. Look at verse 13. What can I get meat for all these people? They keep wailing to me. Give us meat, give us meat. I can't carry all these people. The burden is too what? Burden is too what? If this is how you're going to treat me, put me what? Kill me now. Yeah. If I find favor in your eyes, don't let me face my own ruin. Thank you, Lord. But out of the storm of his emotions, Out of now that's literally, it was a storm. It was a storm of panic and fear and worry. But hold on, I'm worried, but I'm worshiping. I'm panicking, but I'm praying. By the way, Moses is praying and talking to God. Isn't that a contradiction? Isn't that a paradox? Amen. Going crazy, amen, but talking to God while I'm going crazy. Amen. Worried, but I'm worshiping. Panic, but I'm still praising. Anybody got that kind of faith? Amen, amen. Roller coaster ride, but you're still calling on the name of Jesus. Amen. That's evidence that you have lost. That's evidence. That's evidence. That's evidence. So look at what he said. Look at what he said. The Lord answered out of that storm, bring me 70 of Israel's elders who are known to you as leaders and officials amongst the people. Now watch this. Moses, he's panicking and crazy, and then God just comes back in a very calm voice. Calm voice. Moses, to give him something to do. Give him instructions. Give him instructions. So it's back up, front back, just real quick, just know this. Your crisis is not a surprise to God. I wish you write it down this way, this is how I have it in my notes. Your crisis is not a crisis to God. Your crisis is not a crisis. Again, I told you before, God is not up there in heaven saying, oh my God! And that's what I found. If I can just get reconnected to my Creator, if I can just get to Jesus, it'll be all right. Anybody know that to be the truth? If I can just get to Jesus, it'll be all right. Look at your neighbor and say, it'll be all right if you just get to him. If you just get to him. Look at God. Okay, Moses, look what I want you to do. Bring me how many? 70 elders. Known to you as leaders. Have them come to the tent of meeting. Stand before them. Verse 17. I'm going to come down. I'm going to speak with you there. I'm going to take of the spirit that is on you and put that spirit on them. Is that capital S or small? Yeah. They will do what? They will take the spirit that's on you and put the spirit on them. They will help you do what? They will help you carry the burden of the people so that you will not have to carry it. Do you know there's somebody that can help you with what you're going through? Did you know that there's somebody that can help you? But let me step on that demon's neck because he tried to run out of here as soon as I said that. Let me step on pride. See, but some of you won't reach out because you pride. There's someone that has a solution to the problem that you're going through. But pride is your co-pilot. And you won't say nothing. You won't say nothing. Matter of fact, someone has the answer to what you're going through. Someone has been through what you're going through. And got the solution. Got the solution. Somebody can help you with what you're dealing with. Amen. But you got to let pride go. Thank you, Jesus. You got to let pride go. Amen. And God will raise up. Do you know God will raise up the right help for you? God will send assistance. Oftentimes, the Bible said that he will send help from Zion. Everybody look around real quick. Look around. Don't roll your eyes. Just look at it. Look around. Your help might be in this room right now. Your help, the answer might be in this room right now. The answer might be in the small group fellowship as you share the testimony and as you share the prayer request and as you say, pray for me, and so on and so. The answer might be in, you don't have to pray to God, you just need to talk to somebody. You just need to talk to somebody. Everybody say help. Everybody say help. Don't be too proud to connect with somebody. Don't be too proud. Deliverance found out I was reading, I'm doing a vetting on this, and this pastor, he committed suicide. And see, now all of a sudden this army, this cadre of people are coming up and saying, oh yeah, I knew that about it. Oh yeah, I knew that about it. Oh yeah, I knew that about it. And that's the crazy thing. Amen. You're drowning, and everybody around you know that you're drowning. Everybody know. Because a tree is